Good morning, families. Happy Friday. We made it another week. Just some announcements for you today. They are a little longer, so bear with me. I will try to get through them as fast as I can. The first thing I wanted to do is address the portfolios that your students should be working on or turning in. The first one is the science one. The students are asked to take heavy cream and pour it into a jar and shake it. The point of the lesson is for them to understand it goes from a liquid to a solid, and then reflect on that, and then they ask them to take it a little bit further by actually putting it in the freezer and things like that. So please know that with that portfolio, they should be using some heavy whipping cream and things like that to see how the matter changes. In math, they are doing a measurement activity, so they are to choose a correct tool to use, whether that's a ruler, a yardstick, or a tape measure. I know our homes have all different types of things. And then they are asked to estimate the length. I believe they do their thumb, their arm, and their leg, their forearm, and then their leg. And then after that, they're asked to reflect and compare their estimate with the actual measurement. And they are to state what they see, the changes that they see, or the differences they see between their estimate and their actual measurement. So they do have to do some written responses. Yes and no quite aren't detailed enough, and points will be lost if they do not explain like what, oh, my estimate was actually shorter or my estimate was longer, and then maybe tell by how much. That is even just a little bit more detail to help with the scoring. And then the other one is their ELA for Unit 8, Lesson 5. They are working on a compare, contrast, draft, or story. It is truly a writing piece. Second graders should be able to, at this point of the year, write definitely over 5 sentences, just as we are nearing the end of the year. And what they need to do is pick 2 things, and they need to tell things that are the same, so compare, and things that are different between the 2 things, so the contrast piece. I've had wonderful ones come in. Some student, a student, wrote about the differences between the child's chores at home compared to what the parents do within the home. And so they talked about how those things were different, but then also how they were similar. Another student compared apple juice and water, even down to the point that you can actually get like fizzy apple juice, and you can also get fizzy water, but they also can both be flat. So it's just some really creative things. So as your student is selecting things to compare and contrast, just make sure that they can identify things that are similar, and also identify things that are different. And a lot of the students are ending with really great, strong sentences in conclusion. A lot of them have started with, which has been wonderful. The feedback, the comments that I've written on the ones that have come in, I've been trying to be very detailed about where changes could and should be made in order to fix it up before your final submission in Unit 10, Lesson 5. So those are things that do need to be done. If you do not know how to attach it to the Dropbox link in the lesson, please just attach it as a webmail to me, and I will go ahead and I'll grade it from that point. At this point, your child should be 50% complete, about 50% complete in their core classes. We are pretty much halfway through the end of the semester, right around 50 to 52-ish%. So if your child is still back, at like 20, 30, even 40%, maybe carve out some extra time to try to get them back up to that 50%. Check-ins. I have 5 students that I still need to have check-ins scheduled for. Next week is the last week of March, so please go to my You Can Book Me site and try to get those scheduled. For those of you who have scheduled, thank you. It's wonderful. And you're done hearing from Mrs. Kraft. Plead for check-ins until May, where we will do our last one. Overdue lessons. Unfortunately, some of us still have overdue lessons piling up. Please, please, please do try to find some time, maybe this weekend, to knock out a number of those. Every single time a lesson is not complete on the planner, it is added to that pile, and they are going to continue to grow. And what's going to happen is we're going to hit May, and it's going to be crunch time, and we're going to want to be outside, and we're going to have baseball games to go to and things like that. And so to sit and do lesson after lesson to try to catch up, I'm just trying to encourage we try to get that done before we get to May. Also, temporary zeros will be placed in this weekend, beginning of next week, for lessons that are over 2 weeks, or I should say assessments, so quizzes, tests, and portfolios that are over 2 weeks overdue. So you might see a drop in your students' grades, and that is because the temporary zeros will be in there, but as always, as the student completes the actual assessment, those grades will be replaced. This is a call that if you have an updated phone number, if you could webmail that to me, that would be great. I was trying to contact some families this week, and I know other teachers have expressed this too. Cell phone numbers change, we understand that. And a lot of times those are the ones we're trying to call, and we're getting messages that they're no longer in service or anything like that. So if you do have an updated phone number, if you could give it to me, send it to me in my webmail, I will gladly go into your account and update that number for you. And then finally, they did send out intent to returns. So those are available to you as the learning coach and the caretaker. So if you could remember to make your preliminary selection if you intend to re-enroll your student for next year, that would be wonderful. We love all of our families at Reach, and we do hope that you choose to come back to us for next school year. And so do be looking for those. They should be in your webmail, and if you could update those and let us know your plans for next year, that would be wonderful. I won't hopefully see you guys, but I do wish you the best of luck in 3rd grade, and I know you'll have a wonderful time. So again, if you could make those preliminary decisions of, intent to return, obviously nothing is set in stone, but it does give the school a good idea of numbers and things like that. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend. It's to be sunshiny here. I have a busy day tomorrow, but I'm excited for it. I wish you well, and I will see you on Monday. Bye.